And our next headline, suspended FIFA president Sepp Blatter and European soccer boss Michel Platini were both banned from soccer for 8 years today by the Ethics Committee of football's global governing body. The decision comes as a major corruption scandal swirls around FIFA, with many of its current and former officials having been indicted over allegations of bribery.
The verdict is in. On Monday, FIFA President Sepp Blatter and European football head Michel Platini were both banned from all activities for 8 years. This amid a swirl of corruption charges, as an investigation looked into a $2 million payment that FIFA made to Platini in 2011, with Blatter's approval. It found that both men had demonstrated a, quote, abusive execution of their positions, and that the transfer of money lacked transparency. But even as the World Football Body's Ethics Committee released its ruling, Blatter remained defiant, saying he will fight the ban.
I am now suspended 8 years. Suspended 8 years. But I will fight. I will fight for me and I will fight for FIFA.
He also accused the football organization of using him as a, quote, punching ball.
I am sorry that I am still somewhere a punching ball, but I'm sorry that I am, as president of FIFA, this punching ball, and I'm sorry for football.
Monday's ruling means that Blatter's 17 years at the helm of world football will end in disgrace. UEFA's Platini has also denied any wrongdoing in the case and is expected to challenge the decision in the sports body's appeals committee.
And who better to tell us more about this than I24 News host of the sports magazine, Jonathan Regev. Good evening, Jonathan.
Evening, Ayman.
Well, it seems like yesterday and the day before yesterday and every day before that we heard about scandals for FIFA. What does this new development mean for these two men?
I think, well, again, anything in this case is never final. There's always something, a new development, another court which you can appeal to. But it seems that, especially for Blatter, who's 79 years old, his days in the world of football are over. He will be 87 by the time everything, his ban ends. I don't see him coming, and really his PR is terrible. Whether he's guilty or not, I do not know. I know what the FIFA Ethics Committee has said, but it's just too much. As for Platini, I think it's a bit more tragic for him, because if Blatter was seen in the past few months as the man of the past, Platini was seen as the white hope for the future, the man that will bring the ship to new horizons, that will fix everything. At least, judging by what the FIFA Ethics Committee has said, they're saying, well, Platini is just as bad. So
the hope is extinguished.
Yes, and he's 60. He will be 68 in 8 years' time. Again, with all this with this big bag of lies apparently on his back. Will he be able to be back then in 8 years' time? We do not know. I would doubt it. It is a bit though tragic for him, because he's a very, very famous former French footballer, and now he's the head of FIFA, UEFA, and France, his native France, is hosting Euro 2016. Guess what happened the last time France hosted the tournament? They won with Michel Platini leading the team, so he was seen as the white hope, the man to replace Blatter in the election set for next February. He's not going to be there. I would be very, very surprised to see Platini running and winning under these conditions.
Well, indeed, what does the future hold for the presidency election in April for FIFA?
Yes, it's at the end of February, and you know what? A lot of people that are somewhat anonymous to most football viewers, they stand to be they are the current candidates. Maybe that's not bad news. Sepp Blatter has been at the head of this organization for 17 years, and rumors about corruption have been going since the day he was chosen. Before Blatter, his predecessor João Avelange was 24 years as the head of FIFA. Maybe when you run such an organization which is so popular, so rich for so long, maybe there's just no other way, and maybe someone else, maybe like Prince Ali from Jordan, or some Jérôme Champagne from France. Other people, maybe they will lead football to better places. We do not know. The elections are exactly 2 months away, February 26th. We'll see who stands at the head of FIFA after that. hopefully, they will lead this organization to a better place.
Well, Jonathan, let's bring in another voice into our conversation. We're joined by David Larkin, international sports lawyer and co-director of the Change FIFA. David, thank you for being with us this evening.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, David, Blatter plans to appeal and take the case to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. He said at the end of his address that he will be back. How much do you see it likely that despite all these allegations of corruption, he might make a comeback?
Well, I mean, the basis for his ban appears to be a transaction with Mr. Platini. Mr. Platini states that he has documents to support his version of the facts. It appears from the ethics committee that they were not persuaded by the evidence offered. So I think there's a chance, at least, that CAS could reverse if there's more evidence that comes forward.
And David, where can we say that the association stands now in terms of leadership? Because this is a significant crisis for FIFA.
Well, there's clearly a power vacuum. And one can't help but wonder if the boldness of the ethics committee comes from that very power vacuum.
And David, we heard a lot about the corruption scandals in FIFA over the last year. Is there a lot more that we still don't know?
I really believe there is. I mean, if you look at the actions of U.S. law enforcement, and thank God for them, they've gone through CONCACAF and CONMEBOL, and yet it appears they've left Asia and Africa and Europe largely untouched, and I can't help but wonder if those aren't next.
Yes, David Larkin joining us from Washington, D.C. Thank you very much for that. Jonathan, after all we've heard from David as well, what does this all mean for the image of FIFA? Is it irreversibly damaged?
It's completely damaged, and I agree with David completely on the stand that so far we've seen almost all the arrests that we've heard from FIFA. They come from Latin American confederations, CONMEBOL, the South American Confederation, CONCACAF, Central and Northern American Confederation. What about Asia? A World Cup has been awarded to Qatar. I think that if the World Cup would have not been awarded to Qatar, maybe all these monsters coming up now, maybe they've been avoided because once Qatar was chosen, then people started to ask questions. Allegations about corruption in FIFA have been going on for years and years, decades now. But once they chose Qatar, people said, enough, that's way, way too much. No way they could have chosen Qatar, a place where summer temperatures are 50 degrees, no football, no past and no football history whatsoever. There's a lot more to be discovered, and the image is terribly tarnished. There's a lot of work to be done if the image has to be corrected.
Well, it's certainly the story that keeps on giving more and more headlines.
And my bet is it's not going to stop. Yes, there's much more, and it will keep on coming.
And we count on you to keep on bringing it for us.
Yes.
Jonathan Regev, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ayman.